Now the rears, wow. Prepare yourself for a hell of a journey on the rear end of an old car. Okay, so I ended up splitting this into two parts. I thought I was going to make one big video about the wheel studs, and then, like I said in the video, I recorded way too much, and I had to deal with the amount of footage that I've had. Not to mention, I didn't realize the talking head was going to take a lot longer than I expected. So just about the halfway point, which is finishing up the fronts, I decided to just close out the video, say to be continued. So here's part two. What's up, crew? Welcome to another video. My name is John Connie, aka Big Man Syndrome, and this project was way bigger than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, doing it better than ya. I raise the frequency when I step in the room. Look at her, look at me. Snap, snap, I got.
There were some warning signs after I bought the studs that I would have to take things apart. But what you'll see in this video is I went too far, and I will explain that once we get there. Don't make the mistake I did. Leave the
head to toe, I got that magic. I'm confident and I'm classy. I'm the next big thing. On the throne is where I'm landing. Yeah, holla, holla, holla. Wait a minute, bitch, I'm back. Got my hands around their neck like I don't know how to act. They can't imitate or replicate what I do. It's a rap, bitch. I'm turning up the price, rain up. Yeah.
Are you shitting me? I'm not getting up again. Can you grab the 17? Yeah. How'd you do that though? You skipped it. Mallet. Once again, they were seized on. They were just frozen on there. Also, quick note, which this has happened on previous channels and videos that I watched, make sure your handbrake is off. You want it on when you're jacking up the car, even though it doesn't matter when the back end up. Chalk your tires too, so that your car doesn't go rolling off into the sunset. Turn your e-brake off. Can't get the rotor off if it's completely stopped by brake pads. Pro tip from a friend who I definitely isn't a car pro, but at least got me this trick. I guess he had done this before, and he's like, well,
because these right here, if you have a screw, you screw it in there, and then the screw pushes it out. You know what I mean?
Is it?
Yeah. I kicked your camera, or I put my nuts on it.
Okay. I'll make sure that's in the video. Jordan nuts. Jordan almonds.
Teabag your camera.
There's those two holes there, but I doubt that you have the right thread, pitch, and bolt. So I looked through, I have this 3-tier kit that has a bunch of different thread, as well as every sort of size. Luckily, not the biggest one, but the next one down was exactly the right pitch and size. So I'll try to remember to check the size of this because it doesn't have it labeled on that box. You put it in there, you get yourself your impact drill, and it pops the rotor right off. I just checked today, the front has this as well. Could have really saved myself a huge headache. So basically what that is there's a little screw hole, and behind it is just the wheel hub, a flat surface, and it just presses it out. I was like, damn it. Why didn't I know this?
Around their neck like I don't know how to act. They can't imitate or replicate what I do. It's a rap, bitch. I'm turning up the price, rain up. Yeah, you can do that.
Look at that.
Too.
That's cool. That's going to be a great tip.
Drove and slotted.
Here, get the Dremel.
That'll be another upgrade to your video. Well, while I'm here,
That's why I decided to DIY this. Probably should be a don't, but I'm doing it.
DI, don't spend more money.
DI, save yourself $300.
Save yourself money for the install, but then you end up spending more money on other things to do. Oh yeah, you gotta blow apart this whole entire e-brake thing.
Yeah. I think.
That doesn't look fun at all.
I actually might not have to.
Well, otherwise, how do you get...
You might be able to pull the hub through. No, maybe not. Once again, do your research. I got a little bit confused because there's a lot of different videos out there on the internet. I thought I had to take apart the handbrake assembly. There was a video that this was done on before they took out all the studs, because I thought I was referencing that. So I took it all apart. I was planning to take the hubs all the way off anyways because I wanted to get a deep cleaning in. I wanted to check the bearings to make sure that I didn't need to replace the hubs. I mean, I kind of wanted to replace them anyways because, wow, they're really rusty. So I popped it all off, and I'm watching some videos, and I noticed another one where they took the hub off and they didn't take apart the handbrake. And I'm like, why? The reason the other person did that on a video is because they did the stud conversion without taking the hub all the way off. They just took it off enough, which now that I think about it, I don't know how they did that and why they did it that way. Kind of silly. If you're planning to take the hub all the way off, which I recommend because there's a lot of buildup on the backside of that you can't see. Take it out, clean it up, put it back in. Don't take apart the handbrake because it is literally a disaster to put back together.
Oh, bother. How do you keep this in place while wrestling this fucking thing? God, dude. God damn it. Who's that? This one first though. Does that mean the yellow one is on this one? It's on it. This is a fucking nightmare. How the fuck? Oh, yeah. Well, hopefully that doesn't stop me from putting the other pieces in place. So, we got this bad boy. Here. Oh my god. How the fuck? Ooh. I have one spring. I have no idea what it goes to. It goes to this? To keep this together? No? Well, hope that's right. No idea. No idea.
I mean, but if you're planning to service your handbrake, might be worth it. I mean, it's probably the first time that thing's been opened up, and I probably should have just bought a bunch of new stuff. All right, the next big one is the Axel Nut. This is the biggest piece of shit I've ever had to uninstall. You take out the little pin. I hit it, like whacked it with my impact gun, did nothing. Sprayed it with, I'm pretty sure, half a can of PB Blaster, didn't do it. The other side, I soaked it with the PB Blaster and let it sit for a second, and that one broke loose, which is good, the passenger side. But the driver's side, we had to heat it up with a torch. So that's my recommendation, is don't be afraid of fire. Make sure that everything that is flammable is off of there. Just to note, PB Blaster is flammable, a little tiny bit. Hit it with enough heat, and then hammer it. Also, pro tip on the hammering. I've seen this in a couple of other videos. Don't just go at it. Give it a few UGA DUGAs, let it rest, give it a few more UGA DUGAs.
All right, after a bunch of attempts, we put some fire to it after watching a video of a guy doing it. Gave it a shit ton of, as he would call them, and you know, as I like to call them as well, UGA DUGAs. We finally got it off. Both sides are unhooked. I've already taken the 4 bolts off that are on the back side, keeping the hub on, and now I'm gonna give it a whack, because I thought all I had to do was get the 4 bolts off for it to just come off, and right now it's not pulling off by itself. The axle is sliding right out, so that's cool, but we'll see. There we go. There she is. That's a lot of rust.
The bolts behind the hub are definitely a little bit awkward. I did have to use an extension or a long socket on 2 of them, and then a short socket was the only one that would fit. The axle boot is also a little bit thick, so you kind of have to press into it, and it's going to be okay. Just try not to pinch anything, but it is definitely an awkward spot, and there's one spot that you can't even get to with an extension. You can only use a short socket. The last thing I'll go into is the tool that I got for pressing the studs in doesn't directly work on the rear hub, And there's a bunch of videos out there of using the washers, and I tried this, but the washers kept getting spit out the sides. So then I thought to myself, the only reason why there's a lip there is because of the handbrake assembly and the way that the rotor is shaped. So I thought, why don't I just use the rotor? And this is definitely putting your rotor at risk of getting marred, cosmetically not looking so great. Like I said before, if I messed something up, I was willing to pay the small price of getting new rotors, plus it would have looked way better than it currently looks. And I'm gonna do it in the future. By putting the rotor back on, it eliminates the lip and makes a flat surface for it to sit flush, and then you can press all the studs in. Now at this point, like I said, that tool that I bought was completely seized up, no more bearing, it didn't spin freely, so it became harder to push the studs in. Quick fix is just to grab a washer, set that washer between the tool and the rotor, or whatever surface you're using, and it becomes a little bit easier to push it in again. So once I got all the studs back in, and I did this after I put the handbrakes back together. What a fucking process. Once I had the studs all back together, it was really just reverse engineering, putting everything back together. This is a pretty simple process. It feels like things go wrong, but really as long as you get the splines into the hub and you press it in, you might have to, unless you jack your car up a lot higher and you can see where the holes align before you push it into the little gap that it sits in. I had to adjust the hub a couple times to get the bolts to start threading. Once you get one threaded, I would at least start threading another one before you start tightening. If you tighten one of them at least down to flat and the others aren't completely aligned, you're not gonna thread a bolt. So get one threaded, thread another, make sure, and then you can start tightening all the way down, and then you can thread all four of them. Super hand tight, that's what I went with. I didn't use the torque wrench because getting back there is really, really difficult. Once I got that flush, I got both hubs on, then it was on to the axle nut. Putting this back on is absolutely the easiest part of this. Grab the old UGA DUGA, bang it in there until it stops turning, and then make sure you put the pin in. I got new axle nuts just to at least clean it up a little bit because all that rust, the ugliness of the old nut, I just wanted to refresh at least one thing in there. Get the new pin in there. The pin that came with the kit that I bought was a little extra long. I just clipped it, bent them, made sure it was tight. From there, you could start putting everything back on. Bolted everything up, buttoned it up, got the wheels on, dropped it on the ground. Now I didn't put my new wheels on as much as I wanted to see them on the car. I wanted to make sure that everything that I did was a-okay. I wanted to make sure that I could drive it around the block with no weird sounds, no squeaking, scraping, rattling, or anything weird, because I don't want to have to take off the new wheels at any point until I'm ready to do something else that's major. Well, ran out of space on the monitor above, so I'm gonna have to finish this off just on the camera, which might change the quality. I put the RPFs on, dropped it down, drove around the block, everything seemed good. I even stopped on I have a pretty steep driveway, pulled the handbrake up, let go of the brake slowly, didn't move an inch, so I at least was comfortable enough with that. It does feel a little soft, so next time I do take those wheels off, I'm gonna have to adjust it to make sure it's a little bit tighter back there. Good to go there. Super stoked with how everything came together. I would rate this one rated R. You know, it's not PG, it's definitely not PG-13, this thing is rated R. And if you don't know what I mean by that, I'm gonna post a video soon. Actually, probably will be my Saturday upload. That would be a good way to make my weekends easier, is to do some more talking head stuff like this and just pick a topic and talk about it. So rated R, meaning it's definitely something that you can DIY. It's not something that I would recommend for just about anybody. You definitely need the right tools. Like I said, you really only need an impact and that tool that I referenced that helps you press in the stud. But you're gonna need a hammer, you're gonna need all of the different sockets, you're gonna need a variety of other tools, so you're gonna need to be well equipped for this. Not to mention you're gonna need a lot of confidence, a lot of motivation, and a lot of patience, because there's points where you're going to really want to just hammer too hard and you might mess something up. I definitely felt like I almost crossed that line a couple times. Rated R, why did I do wheel studs? Well, the new wheels that I got, they will need spacers. And I knew this going into the job, which is why I got the studs. One, because I might need to do spacers based on the recommendations of the person who helped me. And two, because the studs that were on the Evo were so beat up. I don't know how many wheels went on and off of those things, but they're pretty chewed up. To prepare for such things, I bought the studs. They look absolutely awesome. I think all that I need is about 5 in the front, maybe 2 in the 5 in the back and 2 in the front to really get that fitment perfect. But that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you made it this far, you're awesome. And if you're new, consider joining the crew. Not only is there an opportunity to see some really cool content from me, whether it's with my E36, my Evo, or my Tundra, or my friend's E36 that's down in LA, but you also are entering in for a chance to win a $100 value wrench set from Harbor Freight. And by subscribing now, you also help us get closer to what our dream is with this channel, which is to be able to give away bigger and bigger tools, all the way up to a point where we start to give away garages. Obviously, we're not going to build a garage, but if you have a garage and it doesn't quite have the tools, the opportunity in the future is that we will want to outfit people's garages with, you know, all the cabinets, the drawers, the tools, maybe a lift if that's a part of the budget at that point. That's really what we want to do on this channel. We want to uplift garages all around the, probably US for now, maybe the world. Who knows? World domination's on the list. And if you're not new, you know what to do. Hit that like button, leave a comment, share this video. Those are the ways that grow the crew. And until the next one, I'll see you later, crew. And go spend some money on that flippin' money pit. All right? Good God.
Yeah, back and I'm better than ever. I think I got a vendetta. Oh, now they call me, I seen them. All of those times getting severed. I told them all I can let up.